everyone, it's Mona here at Craft Klatch, and today is Friday. That means it's another Coaster Friday. Today we're going to do a cactus coaster set. You see a lot of cactus in home decor right now, so it's kind of popular. So I thought it'd be fun to give it a try. Now these cactus coasters are supposed to be fun, so they're not going to be like super realistic or anything. So I'm going to use some multi-surface paint, and I'm going to mix some pure black with a little bit of mushroom just to cut some of the black down. And I'm doing the multi-surface paint just because oftentimes it's a little bit thicker, and I'm hoping that it's going to stick to the silicone a little bit better than some of the regular acrylic paints. And I also have this multi-surface paint in a pearl. It's a pearl red, but it's a pearl hollyberry. And I'm going to start with that and just do it in different places in each of the different coasters, and I'm doing 4 of them. And I'm just making little flowers. And it can be in a different place on each of the coasters, so don't think that any of that has to be consistent, because it doesn't. This is just to give it a little bit of color, and you'll see why later also. And if you felt like you wanted to go over it a second time, you can, but don't feel like you have to. Now I'm going to use the plain mushroom color on a skewer stick first. And all I'm going to do is just make little marks here and there. And these are just like the little pricklies that are on the cactus. And I'm going to go kind of random. Some will be thicker, some will be longer, some will be shorter. And we're not really going for realism, we're just going for fun. Now that everything's dried, I had mixed that mushroom paint with the black, and it cut down so it's not such a stark black. And I want to get some onto my brush, but I don't want it too goopy. And again, we're not going for realism. We're going for fun. And all I'm doing is painting the stripes on there. They're curved stripes, and I'm from the Midwest, so my cacti knowledge is limited. Interestingly, this is an older mold, and some of the paint is splitting a little bit on this one versus the other one. I would have guessed the opposite, but I guess you just never know. So I'm going to just let these dry, and then we can come back and do our resin. While all that's drying, I'm going to, I have these tiny little flowers, fake flowers, and I don't know where I got them from because I've had them forever. I'm going to take that same paint that I used for the flowers, and I'm just going to put it on, just dab it on some of these flowers here. I'll do 8 of them. I don't know how many I'll use, but it doesn't have to be completely covered. You can let some of that white still shine through. It doesn't matter. I've mixed 4 ounces of resin. I have my green pigment powder. That's going to be what I'm going to use. You can certainly use something different if you want, but I like that it's going to shimmer a little bit. And I'm going to mix this up really well. I think it's a pretty good cactus color. Now I'm going to pour 1 ounce into each of these. As close as I can get. Now that I have it in all the molds, I'm going to take my lighter, pop the bubbles, and then we're going to let this sit a minimum of 12 hours. I'm going to pull the coasters out. They have cured. And as you can see, this is what they look like on the back side where we painted on the mold. And this paint is on here permanently. It's become part of the resin, so it won't scratch off or anything. So that's one part of our cactus. Here's another one. And then this is the other side that we need to take care of. So here are the 4 coasters so far. And now we need to work on this side. And we're going to do the same thing, but working backwards, because we are going to first paint the darker stripes, and then we're going to do the needles, and then we'll add a couple flowers. I've got my paint mixed, and now we're going to do that same easy painting. And all I'm going to suggest is that you try to go in the same direction that you went before. We'll let these dry, and then we'll do the needles. Now I'm going to take my skewer stick and start making the needles all over the place. And now we're going to take our red and do the flowers. And now we just need to let all of these dry, and then we can put our last layer of resin on there. I've mixed some more resin, and now I'm going to just pour it right over these because the paint has dried. You want to be careful not to pour too much so it doesn't run over the edges. Then you can take your stir stick and help it to the edges. Okay, once you got it all spread out, you want to take your lighter, pop the bubbles, and then you're going to let them sit for a minimum of 12 hours. Here are our cactus coasters. They have completely cured. They look good on the front and the back. And now what I want to do is add a three-dimensional aspect to it. If you remember, we painted these flowers, and we painted it the same colors of flowers that we put on here. Really basic, and these flowers are really basic. So what I'm going to do is stack them, all going in the same direction. But what I want to do is scatter the flowers so that when they are together, you don't have like all four flowers right in the same spot. So I would want a flower here, I'd want one in the middle, one on the side, or, you know, just scattered that way. You could have one on, you know, wherever. And these flowers have a little nub on the end. So that's actually perfect for me to be able to drill a little hole into the coaster and then be able to insert it in there. So I'm taking my Dremel and I'm going to decide where I want the flower. It does not need to be very deep, and if it's not quite wide enough, make it a little bit wider. Once you get the hole in there, now all you have to do is glue it in. I'm going to try this super glue gel. We'll see if that works. I'm going to try to get a little bit right on in there. Pop it in, and supposedly in 45 seconds it'll be dry. So I'm going to set that aside, let it dry, and I'm going to work on the other ones. Now we have our flowers on our cactus, and when they're stacked up, whether they're just laying flat or something, they'll be scattered. So that's perfect. And now we got to figure out how to display them. So you can just have them laying down and have them be like little flat cactuses, but what fun is that, right? So I went out and got a terracotta pot and the saucer. It's a 4-inch terracotta pot. I thought you can't just put them in here because they're going to fall over, look silly. I bought some styrofoam and stuff and thought maybe that I could put that in there, and then I realized I really was overthinking it, and all I needed, and I already had, was some smooth river stones. And you could get the smaller ones. I just happen to have these on hand, but you could definitely get smaller pebbles. You could use sand, but sand is going to make a mess, so I thought the rocks would be the best way to go. All you have to do is take your stack of coasters, and put them right in there, and now you have this cute cactus display with coasters. And when you need a coaster, you just take it out and the other ones don't fall down, and then you just put it right back, and that's it. And you could even put like coffee beans in here. That would be cute as well, and it would smell good for a while. And you could paint your terracotta pot if you wanted it to match your decor. But I thought the natural terracotta pot looked pretty good. The only thing I might do is maybe give it like a little wash of an off-white and rub it off just to kind of tone down the newness of it. But the newness of it is good too because our cactus is very shiny and new. So there it is. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you give it a try. Thank you guys so much for watching my cactus coaster video, and I appreciate you guys being here every week. And if you are new here, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And I'll definitely see you next time. Remember, life is too short not to shimmer, so grab your glue gun and your glitter. Stay safe. Bye guys.